Knitting techniques. How to knit the slip, knit, pass, decrease. English style. To download a guide with our 5 favorite tips to improve your knitting right now, visit stitchiday.com/5knittips. For this tutorial, you'll need the following materials: a pair of knitting needles, a cable needle or double-pointed needle, and a ball of yarn. Special thanks to our sponsor Lion Brand for providing today's yarn. Today we are using their Lion's Pride Woolspun, available exclusively at Michael's Craft Stores and lionbrand.com, in the color Taupe. The slip, knit, pass, decrease is a method of removing stitches from your work. And this is generally done to shape your work, but sometimes you'll see this in a pattern, often combined with a lace motif or stitch pattern. And what this does is it takes one stitch and it passes it over another stitch, creating a left-leaning decrease. Now, if you are left-handed, this will be a right-leaning decrease for you. This differs from other left-leaning decreases only slightly in that it's performed in a little bit different way, and I found that the loop that's created here when you are passing the stitch over stretches out that loop a little bit, and so it's a bit more pronounced. You can see the decreases. They're actually right here, and right here in our fabric, but decreases like this are meant to be somewhat invisible if done properly. So if you encounter this in a pattern, it's going to be abbreviated as SKP. And let me show you how we do it. Alright, so I've knitted up to the point where we're going to decrease. And for step 1, we're going to slip this first stitch knitwise. Now there's a good reason why we slip this knitwise instead of purlwise. If your pattern doesn't specify, you pretty much always will slip purlwise. But if you're doing a decrease, any kind of decrease, you'll always slip it knitwise. And I'll show you why in just a second. For step 2, we're going to knit the next stitch. Okay, and for step 3, we're going to pass this second stitch over the first stitch on our working needle, like so. Now the reason why we slip this stitch knitwise is because it orients the stitch the proper direction. Okay, if we were to slip it purlwise, we would actually be twisting the front leg of the loop onto the other side, and it would just give us a little bit of a weird look. I'll show you the difference real quick actually. So if we slip this purlwise and then knit it and then slip this over, you can see I'm bringing this front loop over to the other side of the work, and so we get this little twist at the base of the stitch, which is not terrible, but it doesn't look quite as seamless as the other direction. So let me show you one more time how we do the slip, knit, pass. Again, we're going to start by slipping the first stitch knitwise, okay? Then we will knit the next stitch, and then we will pass the stitch over. That's why we call it the slip, knit, pass. Okay, so there we go.
Hey! I'm Johnny Vasquez, founder of New Stitch a Day and your teacher for this tutorial. I want to thank you so much for taking the time to learn from us. If you'd like to see more videos just like this, we produce new content every single day, hence New Stitch a Day. You can click the subscribe button so that you don't miss a single stitch. And if you click one of the links to the side here, you can see the previous stitch in our series or the next stitch in our series. And if you click this link, you'll be able to see one of my favorites. And don't forget, you can also download a PDF with the written instructions for this tutorial by clicking or using the URL link that's on the screen. Again, I want to thank you so much for learning with us, and I hope that we've helped make your knitting and crochet skills a little bit better today. Yarn on!